Alright, so obviously not perfect, but pretty close to all the parts from Jimi Hendrix's Purple Haze from the first album, Are You Experienced? So let's take a look at this first bit here. We got the B flat note. So the 6th fret of the big E string down to its octave on the 8th fret of the D string. You got 4 times back and forth with that. Now if you wanted to, you could make it a little trickier. You could do the 6 and the 7 on these 2 big strings, down to the 7 and 8 on the D and the G. I believe that's the chord they're getting because I think the bass is going like while Jimmy's going, and it creates that chord. Okay, so that's another way to do that little quick intro. So here goes our first riff to get it going after that little intro bit. So we're gonna have, so we're using our ring finger to slide up to the 9th fret on the D string. You could start at the 7, or you could start somewhere a little bit beyond that, just as long as you get to the 9. Going to the 7 on the G string, to the 8 on the little B string, with a slight bend on that one. So 9, 7, 8, and then 7 on the D string, that A note. So we got 9, 7, 8 with a little bend to the other 7. And then on that D string, we're going 5, and then 5 on the A, and then big one open. Sliding from 5 to 7 on the A, so we got. And then we're gonna come. So we're sliding the ring finger from 5 to 7 on the A, to the 5 on the G, to the 7, to the 9, to the 5. And then we're going 5, 5, to the big 3. So let's look at all that. And there's one of those slides in between these things too. Now our last part of these 4 is going to be the open A string to start. Then going to slide back into those things. And we got a little hammer on that one this time. And then. Okay, so we got. So let's look at that whole intro one more time. Now our chord here is this E7 sharp 9. So open we can do because it's an E, 7, 6, 7, and 8, and mute the bottom string. That's the Jimi Hendrix chord, basically. Now we're going to do a G chord down here, but he doesn't do those bar chords. He does a thumb back here. Mute the A string, the 5th string, and get this 5, 4, 3 from a G chord down here. Don't need the bottom string either. We just need these 3. Now we're going to bring in a pinky riff here on the 2nd fret, 5th string. So we got. So it's actually on the A. We're going to go up to the G to the A, and then the A is going to have that little 6th fret thing. So da 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 dee da da. And then you hit the E string and nothing else, and stop that, make it staccato. Then we're gonna have this octave sliding thing. We're gonna slide the E octave, which is 7th fret of the A string, 9th fret of the G string. So we go up to the 9, back to the 7, to the 5. And we hit that riff twice more. So at the end of this thing, we got this open E, and then the sliding octaves. Got that riff twice, and we're back to a new verse. And then I got this off one of his live records. So he does a riff there. So he's doing like the raised 9 equivalents for those G. So the G would be like the G bass and these 6s on the bottom. And the A would be the 5th fret and the 8s on the bottom. And the riff is. So it'd be like. And so after the 2nd verse, set of 3, 3 passes through that riff. We do that 2 more times again. Then we're going to move that up, sliding into the 11, and then the 9, and then bending this 12 on the B string. So we got this one twice. And then we got the 11, 9, and 12. Same 3 strings. And then we're going to have this. So we're going to go 14 and 12, but then we're going to jump to the smallest string and just hit that 15 and give it some vibrato. Okay, so those 3 little bits in a row. So after we had that up to this 15 the 2nd time, you're gonna hit that little 12 and then get into this. So that's that 14th fret of the G string bending up into the 15th fret of the B string. Kind of twice on that, and then like 3 times as a chord. So we got. And then the solo starts. So that's 16 to 18, hammer on, 3 times. And then we slide the 16 down to the 14. So that's gonna go 14, 16, 14, 13. Back to the 14. So we got. So 14 to 16 and a slide down after that. So that one slides 12 to 14 on the D. 12, 14, 12, and 11. So we got. So that was 11, 12, 11, 14, 12 on the D. So kind of the same thing there. That was sliding into the 14 from the 12 on the A string to 12 here on the D, 14 up to 16. We got the hammer-on pull-off there. So that was 12, 14, up to 16, back to 12. And then we're gonna go 16 and 12. So 3 times back and forth. So that's a rake up from the bottom. 12, 12, 12, 12 to this 14 on the D. And then 11, 12 on the G. And then here we have this 14, hammer-on pull-off to the 12. So we got, gonna go to the 15 and back after that. Hammer-on pull-offs, 14, 15 on the B string. We're gonna end with that kind of 14, 15 bend again. So let me check it out. So kind of a back to this. So that one was a little different. And that one you might want to bend down because you're bending so high on that one, and it's above the half mark, you know. So you're just kind of working that 7th fret of the D string. See how it kind of bends down, or you could go up. And on that G down there, that big 3, and then goes back to that and ends on that one. So it kind of reverses its order a little bit with that 3rd one. And goes back to the 1st one. And then last verse. So we hit this twice, and then the bass brings in a new chord, and we wait a second, we go. So we leave a little space in between that one. So we wait a second, and then we go the 14, 12, and the little 15. We wait a second, and then this last little riff. So we got 12, 14, 15 on the 2nd string. We'll hammer on, pull off. Kind of bend that 14, and then immediately we're hitting this little 12 and bending that 15. It's a unison bend. And it just keeps doing that for the whole fade out, and it's kind of varying stages of hitting the note right and then letting it go down too low and even making it go too high towards the... This will sound really crazy and psychedelic. Okay, so Purple Haze. Let's see, let's the intro one more time. So we got... So we know how that goes, and then we're gonna have the, let's say we're going into the solo. then going into the end of the song. All right, Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix. Hope you dug that. Please like and subscribe. I'm Damon Wood. We'll see you soon. Peace out.